JoJo season 2. So 2 things before I start the review, because I'm going to review these 2 very black, very small, very similarly priced Bluetooth headphones. Second channel stuff is available. If you want to go check out my second channel, it's linked in the description. It's where I do things that are not suitable for this channel, but they're not unboxing things and not really for cooking things. So it's interesting. If you're interested in me and my weebness, just go there. Other announcement, for the love of God, check out my $10 Patreon and Subscribestar chat, because I say it at the very end of the video and people don't understand. If you want to ask me questions, if you want to ask me a question about anything, the comments maybe work like 3 times. If you are a patron and you're $5, there's hundreds of things that I can't catch up. So I put a paywall of $10 and you get into a private behind the scenes Telegram chat where people know my opinions the day they happen. They know what I've unboxed. They know what I have. You ask me any questions you want. There's 200 and something people in there. That's a big chunk of my mortgage goes into that chat. So I pay attention to it. So if you'd like to ask me questions and be VIP, so to speak, the $10 tiers on both Subscribestar and Patreon will give you access to that. And it's on Telegram, which is a very good chat app, which we hope the servers stay up because, but anyway, on to the review. And actually, this is just the intro video. I'm going to stop. And I was listening to the AKGs. I got two headphones here. Two. I bought these because those are the AKG. Okay, hold on. We'll get to the fucking name. I got to come over here first. Where are you? Here you are. Get over here. This goddamn crap headphones and shit. Them Bluetooth, baby. I bought these on a whim because I did the K361s, and I love those headphones as a plug-in headphone. And then I saw them in a Bluetooth version of the K361s, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta try them. And I love these little K361 Bluetooth headphones. They're affordable, they're comfortable, they sound good, like good enough for their price. They're expensive. And I was like, all right, should I buy the K371 Bluetooths? Because I didn't like those wired headphones. So maybe the Bluetooth, being they're amplifying it themselves, maybe that means that they will go and DSP correct it. And then fucking Douglas Mark Stevens III was like, no, Zeos, don't bother. 361s are great. 371s, meh. Jump all the way up, spend more of your money, because I bought these, on the next level AKG wireless headphone, because this one has noise canceling. So this is the model N700 NCM2. Isn't NCM2 N700? Isn't that a denomination of one of the ships from fucking The Expanse? MCRN. It's MCRN. So NCM2. They're going for it. And this is the first AKG product that I've seen recently that literally screams a Samsung brand, like they're proud of that. I mean, the Galaxy Buds are fucking good, all right? But they're not really like, if I'm looking for a sound system, like a speakery sound system, Samsung's at the fucking bottom of my list. So that's the one pair I'm going to review today. The other pair I'm going to review today is from Final Audio. You know Final Audio. They make very expensive headphones and some very nice and expensive IEMs. And apparently also make a $180 set of Final UX3000s, which sounds like something else that should be from some other show. I mean, once your number is above 1,000, like that's 3,000. What are the highest numbers? I think I did this once in a video. 2000X. These are the 3000s. These are 700. And in the comments, you guys can fight. What's the highest number that's in a device that's audio related? Because 3000 is pretty high. All right? They're going just like, fuck it. 3000. Sold. All right. Anyway, so these were sent to me by APOS because APOS now sells Final Audio gear. So APOS hooked me up with this set of UX3000s, which we'll get to the design and the breakdown of each one of them. I just want to give you the intro. So these are also both under $200. These also have noise canceling, and they're from a brand. Well, Samsung is a brand, but AKG is really an audio brand, and Final is really an audio brand. And so I'm going to Bluetooth my phone to both of them, tell you how they function, how they sound. You could download that wallpaper or get into the wallpaper horde on Resilio Sync. That is accessible on the secondary channel in the Resilio Sync video. And let's discuss, because active noise canceling sub $200 headphones might actually be interesting to some of you. Bring my sweet lovin'. Okay, so I've listened to both of these now, and there's one thing I'm going to change before I do the final review of the AKG, which will happen next. I install the app. I hate installing apps. I should get a headphone, open it up at the store, and just be good to go, but I need the app, so let's get the final out of the way, because the final, through this little piece of paper, can tell me there is no app. And I kind of like that. I lean towards, like, unless the app's going to literally blow my fucking mind, which you could use a time jump to skip forward to see how that happens. These finals are fucking perfect. Perfect. They're perfect headphones. For what I need, for what you want. Comfort. We'll get to those. Comfort. They're not super. I've come to this realization also. A lot of the time, people aren't like me. I like flashy anime girls with big old titties. And while I could have that on my shirt, I don't think everyone should print that on their headphones, because most normal people wouldn't approve of that. So a little bit of an understated look. Wait till I get to the lyrics from this is a very understated look. They've got sort of like a speckled rough plastic thing going on, which kind of reminds me just a little bit of the original HG600s, but not quite in that sort of like vomitous thing. I think it's actually good because the texture on here, which you can probably see, hopefully the new camera settings are working out, literally prevents fingerprints from happening, because you can't tell because it looks like it's covered in black speck mud. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it. It's got a nice feel to it. The pads, super cushy and soft. Like we'll get to you, AKG. We'll get to the AKGs and their pads and everything else, but super cushy, soft, not super big, barely a 2-knuckle. Yet my ears fit right inside here, and it's super comfy. The inside of here has got a nice thick piece of foam. They've tuned for that. They adjust normally, like a normal headphone. They do fold like this, so you can punch them down into like a fist-sized thing. These, I should move you over here because you're blocking the accessories, which are a 3.5mm auxiliary cable and a USB-C cable and a little bag. A little bag that has final audio just barely visible in the bottom of it, and that's it. You fold them down, you put them in here, you're done. They're not. They're exactly what you think they weigh. They're not like, oh my god, they're so exceptionally light, Zeos. I never could understand how they could be so light. But they're not heavy either. They feel well built enough. They feel like I could slam them around a little bit. And they're not going to get damaged. That's important when you're talking about a Bluetooth headphone, which is going to be, if I was going on a flight, that might happen soon. Flights might happen. I'd have no problem just folding these up, throwing my bag, hooking them over the top. Oh my god, they fell on the floor. Oh no, it doesn't matter. They'll be fine. You know what? We just did build on this one. Let's go to build on the AKG, because we're not doing sound yet. Let's go to build now on the AKG. So the AKG, it skirts this line of like looks good. Like it's got a nice look. It reminds me, like it takes the pairings from this, like the center hold cup, although this one has a yoke, but it takes that and it brings it to essentially designed Vienna, established in 1947. So they're going with AKG. Samsung bought AKG, and Samsung went, what do you have? You're from Vienna? Cool. What year? Cool. Put it on the thing. We'll say we designed you. So they've got this sort of like very, I want to say Samsung aesthetic, but it's an AKG aesthetic. It's them. I could tell that it's in there. With the arch, and then if you close it and it has no extension, it's just one. If you don't have your ears aren't bent, and you have one solid, beautiful, unbroken line, and you've got the Alcantara, the fake Alcantara. I don't think it's real Alcantara up here for the top of your head, which is a nice touch because it actually does touch. It doesn't slide. We're getting to it. So the actual articulation that makes it fit you does that, which means that it's probably going to not have a perfectly straight thing. It's probably going to be off a little bit, which would drive me mad if I was looking at this from the outside world. Like if you turn this one, it also does that. But it's like it's expected there because it's lower. Here, it just feels like the entire thing is... the essence of the headphone is broken. We got to get to the problems though, because they're not terribly uncomfortable. I'm going to say that right now. But of the two headphones on my desk right now, these fucking destroy these for comfort. Because we said we were going to go back to the pads. Let's look at the pads. Let's lay these down. So those were barely a 2-knuckle. And there it is. It's 1 middle finger long. It's a long one. It's got just a fabric in here. There's no foam. And they're real deep. But the reason they're real deep is because they're real fucking stiff. Like these are just... I thought there was plastic in them. It gave me horrible, horrible nightmares about those B&O P9s. I think they were the P9s that had like plastic 2/3 of the way up, and then it was just this much foam, and you were like, and it was like, what the fuck? People enjoy this? Like, I just hated those fucking headphones. So these are actually foam, but it's so stiff. Like that, look at my fingertips turning red. It's so stiff, you can't really, unless these are designed specifically to last you for 35 years. And by year 28, they're like, they've broken in fully. They're broken in by year 28. So they put them on your head and they don't quite just, these coddle you. The finals coddle you. And these sort of like stick on your head. Respect my design. And then they adjust, where I said these adjusted normally, these adjust up here, which does that thing where instead of going up and down, like if it adjusted here, it now goes in and out. It's a very strange design choice, because you could just reverse where this is and it would have been fine. They do number it though, and it does go to 11. In case you need a headphone that goes to 11, this one does. Let's put that. I don't remember what my numbers are. Let's just put it on my head for a second. They're not. Yeah, okay. You get them behind, you get your ears in there, you wiggle them, you get this up here going. They're comfortable. They're comfortable enough. But I know I'm wearing headphones. Those float a little bit more. So if we're talking about build, I should go back and forth a little bit now for buttons and controls, because I am comparing and contrasting these exact headphones to each other. Real fucking dirt bag simple on the finals. USB-C, active noise canceling button, which, while the headphones are off, you can enable active noise canceling. When you have them on and connected and you hold the active noise canceling, that woman will say noise canceling, and when you hold it again for 2 seconds, off. She says off. If you turn it on and off with the units off, which I can do that by power off. That's a long hold on that, by the way. If the units are off and you just want to use them, I just want to use them for active noise canceling, which I've done that a lot. Like I'm on passenger in a car, or if I'm on a plane, I don't want to feel like listening to music and I don't want to kill the battery fully with a Bluetooth connection. You can just hold this down. And there. Green light comes on. The units didn't come on, but the active noise canceling did. So that's nice. The other controls are, which by the way, that will not auto turn off, so you got to remember to turn that off. There's only 3 other buttons. Negative and positive and power, and there's a 3.5mm for the auxiliary cable. It's a little different because the power button, which is up here, and there's also your pairing button, is your play pause. And it's above your up and down volume and next track, last track. So usually, like on the Samsungs, I'm going to call them Samsungs, Freudian slip. Like on these AKGs, you have 3 buttons in a row, which these are metal buttons, by the way. These are plastic and far apart. So big fat thumbs can, like, here, I'm on one, I'm on one, I'm on one. When you get to the AKG, I'm on one, I'm on one, I'm on one. They squeeze that shit down to a precision amount on these. And there's a 2.5mm for the auxiliary cable, which we'll get to. And this is the usual configuration, though. The center button, which is round, you could feel it's different because there's oval, oval, and round. Center button's play pause, then volume up, volume down, and hold for next track, and hold for last track. The other side has USB-C, a button with an LED in it, which is not on, so I won't show you. And that is for... It's always noise canceling. Until I get to the app and I start fucking with it, which I will do. I'll pause the camera again. But this is, right now, the way the headphones are default, Whereas this has no active noise canceling, then you turn it on or then you turn it off. This has always on noise canceling by default. Then you press that button and it goes, and then your music drops to like 5%, and it's just so you can have a conversation. It just opens it up. And you can't raise the volume. Well, no, I lied. You can raise the volume, but it's still at 5%. And then when you turn this off, then it's blasting. And that happened to me once. And don't ever hurt me, headphone. Because I hit that button and the active noise canceling disappeared and it let me hear the mics. And I'm like, but I can still hear the music just a little bit. Let me see if I raise the volume. No, it didn't do anything. Then I hit that button again. And it went, okay, you don't want to hear the world, you want to hear your music again. By the way, I hope you know you turned it up to 100%, and it fucking almost killed me. One thing I do like about this is the power isn't a button, it's a switch. And it's a switch that goes from off to on, but it's a momentary. If you pull it down, that's the Bluetooth pairing mode. I like that, because you literally go click on, hold down, and release, and it's in Bluetooth pairing mode. So there it is. No touch surfaces on either one of these. You're not swiping on the fucking thing. I hate that. Accessories. Let's do accessories. This is the only piece of paperwork that comes with the final. The AKG comes with any size booklet you would like. Would you like all the warnings in whatever language? Is this the language you want? I don't know. This shit opens. You could tell Samsung did it, because I don't know if I speak any of these. Yes, I don't need all. Thank you. Comes a the little guide is what made me go and say, fuck, I need to go and get the goddamn app. The guide is nice. The very first thing, like if we go to like number 10, contents, everything here is just the word contents in like 97 different languages. And then it shows you a picture of the contents. So it goes over the impedance is 16 ohms, the power input, blah, 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 blah. We were doing accessories, right? I showed you those. So that comes with a sack. The final comes with a sack and some wires. This comes with a very fancy box. Thank you, Samsung, for having a fancy box. A carrying case. This little thing pops up for the accessories. Here are the wires. Let's take this out, get this fucking thing off the desk. That's going to kick up a lot of dust. Comes with a fabric wrapped USB-C cable. So put that on your shopping list. Comes with an airplane adapter, which is actually one of the nicest airplane adapters I've ever seen. And I've never been on an airplane that needs one of these with the little two pluggers. I don't know. And then the wire, because the final uses a 3.5 millimeter input, and you could use any auxiliary cable. This uses a 2.5 millimeter. And I think I got to give credit where credit's due to Samsung's AKG, because their wire, while it's small and sort of like a little frail feeling, it is fabric wrapped, so I wouldn't worry about damaging it. And it comes with a fucking microphone and button on the wire. So that if your AKGs completely die and you still need to use them to make phone calls, you would simply plug in this little guy here and you have, look, a normal headphone, which you could then plug into your terrible 1970s airplane adapter and watch your movies on the flight without using your battery. So you could use an aux cable on this, but that's it. It's just an aux cable. It's not a 4-pole. So you really can't use the microphone in it once the batteries die. And you could use this, and you actually still can use the microphone and everything, because it comes with an external backup mic, essentially, for essential business calls that you need to make. And the case is not bad. It says the entire name, in case you forget which AKG. This is for the N700 NCM2 wireless. That whole fucking thing. It's also got a nice zipper. If you'd ever seen these zippers, these are the zippers that have like the rubber seal that basically waterproof the entire case once you've closed it. I'm a nerd for certain things. This strap thing is kind of ugly. Does it come off? It says, I think it's a button, yeah. This comes off so you can strap it around things. It's not terrible. Aesthetica Nueve. Okay, Aesteticicaneue. I don't speak that language. Anyway, so that comes with the case. This comes with the bag. You're sort of seeing where they spent their money on this. Obviously, Samsung's got real deep pockets. So they're like, you'll get a case and with a super wire. The final is more like a rough edge mofo. It's a little bit more down to earth. I guess we could now... All right, hold on. I'm pausing it. I don't want to talk about sound in case there's something magical in the app for the AKG. So I'm going to disconnect this from Bluetooth, which I did because I turned it off. I'm going to reconnect this. I'm going to dick with the app for 2 seconds. All right, so let's strap in now. First of all, going back to these from those with the comfort is just like... They're not... I wore them for a while, and I'm like, these are fine. These are fine. These are comfortable. I don't have to worry about it. Complain about it. So you wear the finals, and the finals are just so much more comfortable. These pads feel like, because it is memory foam in there, and it feels like you've got to warm it up to the temperature of the sun to get it to soften. And even then, it's not, like, it makes an amazing seal. I think that's what they were going for. They're going for, like, active noise canceling can fuck off. You're just going to seal the shit out of your ears. But overall, they're comfortable. And I just put music back on it, and it's good. Stellar from the String Quartet Tribute to Incubus. Good. They're playing the strings because it's a string quartet. And it sounds good. We'll get to the sound between the two of them at the end of this video, or you can look at the timestamps. Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Now, I've got it. I'm going to pause it for a second. We're going to switch back to the app. The app is here. This is basically what the app looks like when you're logged into it. I don't know if you could see that. I hope you can. And your options are, because it's under literally tips, which is, tips is settings, even though settings should be settings, like, because you see you have smart ambient, you have the 2 different options, it tells you what it's about, but you go to that by going to the tips menu, and then you could choose either that or that. So talk through is what it's set to by default, which is the smart ambient button will now activate talk through. Press the button to your headphones to use. So you hit that button, your music drops, and you talk, and then you hit the button and it comes back up. What most headphones will do is give you just an ambient aware, which is, that doesn't speak, by the way. There's no voice. It's just dings and dongs. Because there's so many languages in the fucking book, they couldn't possibly program all those in there. That's the reason. That one, speaking English, it has a thick accent, but it's speaking English. This one, they're not even trying. So ambient aware is when you hit the button and it goes, and then you can hear. So I could hear myself talking. I could hear my heat coming on. Like, I could hear it. It's fine. The problem is that you have to set it in the app, and that's it. There's literally no reason, because this button has one function. There's no reason you couldn't hit the button once to switch between the two, or hold it for 2 seconds and then go to the talk through mode where it, you know, lowers the volume, you can have a conversation, and then undo it. There's no reason I should have to set this permanently as the headphones button function in an app. Starting to see why I don't like apps. Just double tap it, maybe? Double tap to immediately lower the volume, and single tap. Anything but going into the app to literally assign the function of that button. So, points off. And then there's an auto off feature for how long it will take to power off the things after music stops. You figured that would be on by default. It's not. That means you turn these on. And I've killed these things at least 3 times. Because I take them off, and I forget to turn them off. And I figure it'll just auto off. Because even my fucking 2006 Tacoma will just shut the lights off after 10 minutes. No, actually, that's a lie. I killed the battery of the insert lights. My Caprice will do that, though. No matter what lights are on in my Chevy Caprice from 2012, if I leave all the headlights on, interior lights on, in 10 minutes, they all go off. It just keeps track of that and goes, no. So you have to actually go into the app, again, to auto off, and you just get one setting. Auto off in 10 minutes. Do you want it on or not? There's no 5 minutes or 30 minutes. Nothing. No options, on or off. It should be on by default and shouldn't be able to change it. If you're not playing music for more than 10 minutes, the headphones should shut off. The last thing is the equalizer. Now, I don't usually play around with like equalizers or things. Like, if you don't sell me a headphone that sounds good by default, why are you selling it to me? But I've got to point out some shit. The firmware, by the way, you can't click it. It just says 171. Quick start guide is in here. The EQ is probably the reason people get the app. And it's ridiculous in its capability and annoying in its execution. So I would figure there would be like a list of predetermined like EQs. Like every fucking thing's got like, oh, do you want to listen to the JC thing or the rock and acoustic, podcast EQ? Nothing. It starts out with nothing. You have my EQ, which isn't set yet because you have to hit plus, and now we get to draw my EQ. Draw it, literally. So it shows between 32 and 16K. And it's just a straight line. And it says, put the line where you want. So it's like, all right, I hope to Christ you could see this with the phone with the new settings. So we just hit the line. Oh, ooh. And literally up top, it shows me to the 1 hertz where we are, and I can go negative or positive 6. So let's say we want a 6 decibel boost. I can't see that, actually, no. A 6 decibel drop at approximately 77 hertz. There's a dot. That's my EQ now. But wait, there's more. We want to come up and have a 4. It doesn't say the percentage of the, it just says 4, 3, 4. This is all 4. All that is 4 decibels. All this is 3 decibels at 238 hertz. And then we can go down, and then we can go up. And I've tried to put as many dots on here as possible to edit this. And I don't seem to think that if you go too far, it cancels out. There doesn't seem to be a limit to how many you can put, except for physically how many you can actually squeeze on screen before they cancel near the edges. That's fucking both amazing and dumb as hell. I approve of it highly. Like, I can actually set, if you knew the correction for these headphones, if someone figures out, if someone measures these, they can figure out to the fucking hertz. You can't adjust the Q value, but you could just draw. Can I get another one in here? Hold on. Try to get another point. Come on. Too thick? Too thin? Come on. Give me one. If I move that over and then grab it here again. Move this over. Oh, I got one. Come on. It's like a fucking game. I don't play games, but if I can get, yeah, there we go. Got another one. So I've got now, I can move that one down. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can I get a 14th point? I gotta be able to get a 14th point. If I slide this over, come on, give me it. Give me access to this. Give me access to this. Oh, it's gonna give it to me. It's gonna go. 14-point EQ curve. It's absolutely atrocious. Let's hit yes. So I have my EQ and my EQ2. And let's go back and listen to Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, that sounds amazing. I fixed it all now, boys and girls. Wow. Let's just turn that off. Okay, thank God. I had to go on a little rant about that because I've never seen, like, I can't even manipulate foobar and room equalization wizard with that sort of precision and speed. 14 points. I managed to get 14. Let's see if you have AKG headphones. Can you get more than 14 points? If I had a stylus, maybe I could just like slowly pick them apart. But that's fucking silly. Especially not giving me any sort of like overview class of like general ones. It's just blank. Okay, it's time for sound. Zeos timestamp. I don't dislike the sound of either of these. These were $170 something when I bought them. I think there's still like 1 or 2 new pairs on Amazon. I don't know why they wouldn't be sold. There's only like 2 headphones in the app, so I don't know why they're like, nah, fuck it. The finals are basically brand new, and they're $179. I think Apos has them for. It's doubly jack $179.99. Versus $169.23 for a used set of the Samsung/AKGs. Sound. These on their own are a very technically good headphone. They're very DSP corrected to fix whatever's going on with the driver. You have access to the EQ. You can straighten them out. They're not very soundstagey. They're very close and aggressive. And I only know that because I listened to these first. I did my setup today to start getting into the groove of this. I did it first, and I put them on, and I enjoyed them, and I sat on my bidet, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? These fucking things sound good. I remember them not sounding that good. I remember I was like kind of iffy on if these things were going to get like a full recommendation. And I used them for whatever, 45 minutes, an hour, probably an hour and 20 minutes because I made tea, whatever. I used them, and I took them off, and I was like, oh, my ears, and I started rubbing them because it didn't quite get soft enough. And then I took out the finals. And the finals went on my head, and it was like I took off a cast and put on a cashmere sweater. It's like, the relief. There was a relief to just wearing these on my head. They feel like a headphone, like a comfortable headphone. So I'm like, oh, they don't have to feel like that to get a good seal and everything. So I know we're not in sound yet. I know I said to talk about sound, but aggressive, very DSP'd, but quality. Like it doesn't sound like shit. If you listen to a song for the very first time on these AKGs, you'd be like, huh, I like that song. I can put it in my memory as like, I like this song. The finals, however, are what are tuned for Zeos. Because the finals make me want to fucking listen to them. Like they don't intrude on my personal space. Some headphones are trying so hard to sound good. They're like, it's Samsung and AKG. They're going up. They're a name brand. Samsung's a big brand, and they got this AKG in their back pocket, and they got Apple and Bose, and they want to go after them, and they want to be like, they want this to be the next AirPods Max. And it'll never be that. But they're trying so hard, desperately hard, with the design and the sound, and they're just like, you could feel that desperation in making it sound good. It's got to sound good. It's got to sound so good that people hear that after the iPod Max, which is so neutral, and it's got to drag them into the fucking thing. And I don't want that. I don't want to be part of that fucking war. Final knows it's never going to be against AirPod Maxes or the Bose QC45s, which by the way are still amazing, especially with Taconi pads. But that's why I like the finals more in this shootout. Because the finals, you put them on your head. In fact, I'm going to turn these off. That will disconnect. I'm going to turn this on. Power on. It's got a terrible accent. You're going to have to get used to that. Blue lights blinking. It says Bluetooth connected. Qualcomm aptX. I don't think these do LDAC, do they? That's another slight I don't think either one of them do LDAC. Yeah, it does aptX, low latency. Does it do aptX HD? Adaptive? Does it do adaptive? Supported profiles. 20 max 400 hours of standby time with ANC off. ANC will last 25 hours. Continuous playback with ANC this will play for 25 hours. Up to 35 hours with ANC off. You could play this for over a day with no ANC. Let's play. It's wide. It's unoffensive. It doesn't fret. Gravity. I'm a rocket ship. Yeah, the Doors land ho. Right channel. Just echoes. This is a nice place to be. Listen to music. These are trying so hard, and they accomplished their goal of being an impressive sounding headphone compared to the competition. These don't really, I don't want to say they don't feel like competing, because they're obviously competing. Actually, hold on, my heater's on. They put in the air noise canceling. Oh, it's a hold, isn't it? Fuck. I wish it wasn't a hold. Is it the greatest noise canceling in the world? No. I could still hear my heater going. It's much better now. It takes all that low end out of it, but I could still tell it's happening. I know on the Bose, on the $300 Bose, or the Sonys, or especially the AirPods Max. AirPods Max, I ride a diesel tractor, and I can't tell I'm on a diesel tractor. So you're not competing with that sort of level of active noise canceling at this price point. But you know what? The heater's not annoying me anymore. And if I put music back on, because currently it's paused, so I hit the power button here to unpause that. There's no fucking way I can tell. Lower the volume. The volume here lowers when you do it. If you want to, down is last track. You have to hit the volume up button and hold that for next track, and you get some back. The bass is warm and soft and big, but not like overpowering. The active noise canceling does change the sound a bit. That's a rare thing in 2022, at least, or 2021 it was, where the active noise canceling on the really high-end headphones, on things like this, when you do in or out, it always sounds the same. On these, put the active noise canceling on, you get a little bit more low end. You get a little more fuller-ish. Gah. Just like a proper Americanist should say. So These are definitely not the most high-end headphone ever made. They're not the most technically accurate headphone ever made. But you listen to them, and it's like, I enjoy listening to these now. I could listen to these all day. I want to get on an airplane, and I want to hear music like this. There. And then the Weeknd, Tears in the Rain come on. And that knock, I don't know if you could tell the knock. It's like a go ask your Amazon Alexa or whatever. Well, no, that's a terrible place to ask for the song because there's low end that you will not detect there. So go to the Weeknd and listen to Tears in the Rain, the Kissland Deluxe. It's just so soft and coddling, but not like dull. It does a great job. These do a great job. They're too. If final maybe stepping into this game of like, oh, we have a true wireless headphone, yay! And they didn't quite pick the highest end materials of the design. It's very understated, but they got the sound. They got a sound. It's the final sound, and they stuck to it. And if you don't like the final sound, well, then buy something else. So yeah, AKG competent, slightly annoying, better actual like build, like quality of buttons and shit. But I mean, this ain't gonna go nowhere. We could bang them both on the table like I love to do, because I'll probably put these in the yard sale, so I won't bang them too hard. But this is what they're here for. They're here to be used, and if I could put these around my neck, oh, one last sort of negative for the finals, and that saddens me because I don't want to give any more negatives to the final. Bluetooth 5, it says Qualcomm aptX low latency, so it doesn't really do even HD. So we're not getting LDAC. I don't think we're getting LDAC out of this bastard either. None of these are pushing up. This one even doesn't even mention what the fuck format it's using. This one just says cancer and reproductive harm. Huh. The other negative is on the AKGs. I said I almost killed myself because the volume went up even though it was in ambient mode, and it just kept going up. Like, it shouldn't allow that. I run this nearly at max. I run this at max. It's good enough at max. That's the thing. It's loud enough at max, but you never want to have a device that you have to turn to 10 on the quietest songs. You want to always have headroom. Like, it should go, you should be at 10 only if it can go to 15 or 14. And I had some quiet songs come on where I'm like, huh, more. Dee, 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 dee. It maxed out. I'm like, all right. So they're a little, that's probably why they can get 25 or 35 hours out of it. It's because the amplifiers are not super powerful. The AKGs will blow your fucking brains out. But, noise canceling is there, so you don't have to blow your brains out. So it's give and take here in the society. We live in this society. Links to both of these. These I got on, can I get them both to stand up? Sweet. These I bought on Amazon. These were sent from Apos. They don't stand up. Why would I even give them a review? Well, if I do that. There you go. Choose your poison. Pick your poison. Do you want that app? Do you want to put the thing in there? Then you need the AKG. I would honestly still take the 361 Bluetooth over these. No app, just a soft, comfy headphones. It's got to be comfortable first. No one wants to wear a headphone that hurts. I don't care how fucking good it sounds. All right, that you've automatically lost the game. You've lost the game. But all right, so links to these. I think I've gone over the technical precision aspects of this. Better noise canceling out of the Samsung because they're $1 billion company, and pretty sure Final doesn't have I've never done that before. There's nothing else they have is active. So I think one or two more revisions of a wired headphone or a wireless headphone, they'll probably get their active noise canceling up to spec with everyone else. Better feel, better comfort. I like the sound signature of these. Harder, heavier. These are actually fucking heavy. Like, I didn't even get into the fact that you could use them as like a defense weapon. But it's so comfortable to hold in this Alcantara. I think it's fake. It's fake Alcantara. It's such a small piece. It might as well be real. Like, you can get probably a sheet like this big for $50, $70, and then just cut it into little pieces. Either way, I don't want to give either of these like a negative. These just have points. They've all got points. This one has like weird buttons that are up and then far away, and then you got to hold, but at least you can use action noise. And this one's like you got to get into the menu to do a fucking thing. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want nothing to do with that. I just want to use my headphone. So yeah, links to these, links to that wallpaper. Get into the wallpaper horde using Resilio Sync. I'll probably put that on my, if you are a supporter on Patreon or Subscribestar, I will release the horde link to those people soon so that you can use that if you don't want to use, I think I have a Microsoft, I've got a whatever, that currently has all the wallpapers. Go find the original artists using Sauce Now or IQDB. Support them directly. God knows I do. I may have to stop if I'm going to pave my driveway. Patreon Subscribestar, see reviews early. $5 a month lets you do that. Lets you participate in the yard sales, which this will definitely be in the yard sale. This I might hold on to for a couple more months. I mean, I still have my QC45s, but I think I want to give these a test on like a flight, and I might be on a flight somewhere. Maybe I'm going somewhere. Maybe I'm attending a show that you don't know about, or you do know about it because you're a patron of mine. In the $10 tier, wait, $5, see reviews early, participate in yard sales, 1st to the 10th of every month. Hear loss of sound demos, which I have to do for both of these. I don't think I sound demo the AKGs yet, unless I did, in which case I'll have to sound demo these with the same tracks. So look for those in the sound demo channel, which is now the secondary channel, which has other content besides this shit, because it's a secondary channel. I'll give a fuck if you subscribe there and go there. It's like 5,000 subscribers. What am I going to lose? I'm gonna upset 8 people. Who cares? So those things. And then for $10 a month, you get in the private behind the scenes Telegram chat, where those people know everything that's going on. And you could ask me questions there. I described this at the beginning of the video. I don't have to do it again now. You get into the private swap meet there as well. If you're in that for $10 a month, even for 1 month, which you get stuck in there for anywhere from 1 month to 3 months, depending on if it resets the time scale. It's a thing. The purge happens in that place every 3 months. Just be prepared for that. If you are a $10 member, you don't know that, the purge comes on the quarters. $10 gets you into the chat and a lifetime swap meet where you can buy and trade gear with other members that have been there or been previously there. Check out Hi-Fi Guides in the Hi-Fi Guides forum. And yeah, we're done. I gotta take a thumbnail for this. It's gotta be nice. How do I make like a really clicky thumbnail? I don't know. I don't get this whole clickbait thing. Clickbait, is that like what you use to catch fish? Because, you know, clickbait and masturbate all have bait at the end of it. I don't know which one we're talking about. So I'll see you guys in 2 days when I figure out what the baits are. Didn't a Bates run a motel too?